Okay, the second part of this video is to tell you what I am reading now. And I am reading, this is one of Danielle Steele's original books. So I find her books that she wrote I find that the books that she wrote when she first started are better than the books that she writes now. However, I still do like her books because they're an easy read. Most of the time they're pretty light. Some of her older books, like this one, is not as light. This one is called The Long Road Home. All right, so this is a very hard book to get through to the first part of it. I did read this book a long time ago, so long ago that I'm reading it again almost as if it's, the first time. So this little girl, Gabriella, was born from her parents. I can't even remember their name right now. Let's see if it says it in here. And they live in a very lavish Manhattan townhouse, and very prominent people in the community. And her mom and dad are married and they're happily in love, and she gets pregnant and resents the baby from day one. And at first, she just kind of neglects the baby, doesn't want anything to do with it. As the child starts to get older, she takes her anger out on Gabriella severely. The father acts like he doesn't know what's going on, but he does, and he never stands up for the child because he doesn't want confrontation with his wife. All right, so when Gabby is about 7, she is beaten so bad by her mother that her father comes home and has to take her to the hospital, and he tells the hospital that she's fallen down the stairs, and because of who their last name is and where they live, nobody questions them. But then he finally tells his wife, you're going to kill her. What is wrong with you? And he loves the child, but does he really love her if he can't stick up for her? I mean, is he that much of a wimp? That's what I say. And he ends up leaving her, the wife. And so, of course, in return, he leaves the daughter as well. And then the mother hates the daughter even more. She resents the daughter even more for her husband leaving. And he finds another woman that he says isn't as beautiful as his wife, but her soul and her heart is more beautiful. So at 10, the mother has met a new man, and she takes and drops Gabriella off to the convent in New York, and tells the nuns that she's going to be gone for about 6 months to San Francisco with actually she says she's going to Reno, and then from there they go to San Francisco with this man that she's met, and she sends money to the nuns and they take care of her. But Gabriella is happy that she's with the nuns because she finally, for the first time in her life, feels safe and knows that she's not going to get hurt. And so she always tried to hide from her mom at the bottom of her bed, and she would sleep at the very bottom of her bed as a child. And she still did this when she went into the convent, and she was there with 3 other children that had been orphaned and sent there. So she's there until she's 18, and then she finally has decided that she would like to become a nun herself. And the nuns are all so happy and proud of her because they've taken her in like one of their own, and they've loved her and nurtured her since she was 10. And now she's 18, and she's decided she's going to take her final vow. Well, the priests come over and they do their confession and mass with the nuns every day, but they live at a separate church and their rectory. And there is a young priest there, and you know where this is probably going, but Gabriella and this young priest, Joe, fall in love, secretly in love. And I'm only to half the book. So I am to half the book, and they have consummated their relationship in private. And now I still have another half of the book to go. So I feel like, and they're thinking they're going to leave the convent and the rectory, and they're going to get married, and they're going to live together happily ever after. And that Gabriella she went, actually maybe she's more than 18. Maybe she's like 22, because she's graduated from college. The nuns sent her to college on a scholarship, and she can become a teacher, or she can be, she can work in like museums. She has like a history and art degree. And so she tells Father Joe, you know, that if they leave the convent and the rectory, she can find a job as a teacher, or as you know, in a museum or something. She can do that. And for him, he's more scared. He's 10 years older than her, so she's like 23 and he's like 33, and he's afraid because he doesn't know what he would do outside of the rectory walls. And his father and brother died, and his mother committed suicide, so he is by himself, just like Gabby is by herself. But she's completely given herself up to him, and him to her. But my thing now is, we're only halfway through the book, you know, and so I kind of think that it's not going to be all ladybugs and butterflies from here on out. Something's going to have a twist in it. And so I have to read the rest of the book to find out. So I will be reading that. I read it every day on my breaks and my lunch at work, and at night before I go to bed somewhat. So, yeah, so that's as far as I am in the book. It is a very good book. The first part with the beatings was hard to get through, but I did get through it. And, you know, now you're just wondering what's going to happen. Are they going to get married? Are they going to leave the convent and the rectory? Let's see. So, it is one of Danielle Steele's really good books. She has a few others from when she was first starting out that I really like, and I will read again as well. So, anyways, I can't remember who asked me about this, but this is the book I'm reading. That was some of my book collection. And I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you've read any of those books that you saw that I was pulling out that are on my to-be-read list, and have any of you read this book? So even though it's a Danielle Steele, and a lot of people say, oh, she's just a fluff, you know, she writes the same thing over and over again. I like her books, so have any of you read this book? And I would recommend this book to anybody. I think it's a great book. So, all right, you guys, that is my book review and my book little tour of the books I have still to read. And if it was up to me, there's tons of books at work that I would still like to buy, but I'm not going to. I told myself no buying books this year. So read what I have. That's what I'm going to do. So, all right, you guys, have a great day. Take care. And I'll see you back real soon. Bye-bye.